good, YouTube? It's your boy Oceans, and we're back at it with another video for you guys. And today I'm doing a kind of a different video for you guys. I'm gonna be going over a bunch of settings and controller settings for you guys for Halo Infinite. This is gonna not only boost your frames in game, it's also gonna boost your performance for the game as well, and also boost your controller gameplay, your aim, and your movement and everything as well. We're gonna be getting rid of your controller delay. Make sure your controller's feeling nice and good. And yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna just jump right into it. I'm not trying to waste any time with you guys, trying to get these settings to you so you guys have an enjoyable experience on Halo Infinite. All right, guys. So before we hop into the actual game, I'm gonna have you change some settings on your computer that I think impact not only Halo Infinite but other games as well in terms of performance. Also for your controller's performance as well. So first thing I would recommend, definitely, guys, definitely, get you guys a Scuff or a Battle Beaver or an Xbox Elite controller. There's also some other brands out there that make these elite controllers per se. And man, if you guys play claw, and if you guys don't know what claw is, it's when you kind of play the game like this a little bit. If you guys can see, so you're kind of like clawing, and you don't have to leave your aim stick to press a button, right? If you guys don't claw like me, I didn't grow up clawing. I think it's really weird and it hurts my hand a lot. So I have to use paddles on the back. I would definitely recommend Scuff's two new controllers. If you guys play other games other than Halo Infinite, I would definitely recommend a PlayStation controller. PlayStation controllers have the smallest delay out of any controller that you're going to use. Xbox is going to have a little bit more of a delay, but it's probably barely noticeable, if at all. But yeah, I would definitely suggest either the new Scuff Instinct, which is this right here. I love it. It's so amazing. I have no problems with it. I've had other Scuffs in the past break on me in a matter of weeks. These ones usually last me about a year, maybe more. I like to play with a new controller a lot, so I order controllers all the time. So sometimes I'll game on a controller for 6 months and be over it and want a new one. And that's just the way I like to spend my money. And they work great. I haven't had probably no problems at all with any of them that I've had. I've had about like 3 or 4 now Scuff ones, and man, they're the truth, man. I would definitely recommend. They're not how the old Scuffs were. They're pretty good quality now, and I would definitely recommend getting a new one. Or a Battle Beaver. I would highly select a Battle Beaver as well. Battle Beaver, they edit their own controllers. They get stock Xbox or PlayStation controllers and then put buttons and stuff on them for you guys. Or or an Xbox Elite controller. I know PlayStation just came out with an Elite controller as well. I would definitely either recommend one of those, but I haven't tested the PlayStation 5 one, and I also don't really like the Xbox Elite controller. That's just my personal preference. I like the Scuff more. I feel like they last longer, better quality, and they feel better in hand personally. But that's just for me. So besides the controller, guys, I would definitely have you run some of these settings before you even launch into Halo Infinite or any other FPS game. This is gonna help you with any kind of FPS like high performance game that's gonna run on your computer anyways. So it's not just for Halo, guys, but I am a Halo content creator, so this is the game we're kind of going to be focused on today. But so before you guys even do anything on any of the games or anything, I'm gonna have you open up your settings menu like this. You're gonna go to gaming. You're gonna go to Xbox Game Bar. You're gonna turn this off, right? Now, what this does is gonna turn the Xbox Game Bar off when you press your Xbox button on your controller. Uh, I feel it's kind of just using resources from your computer to run constantly in the background and stuff. So I just turn it off. I also don't know if it helps with controller delay, but I would think so, right? You want to minimize anything that has to do with your controller and with your game as well, so you can get maximum performance. I always turn it off, so I never really had a problem with a delay or anything. So turn it off. I recommend it. You can still access your Xbox Game Bar if you still need to by hitting Windows G. It'll still pop up. What this does is just doesn't allow it to be on the controller, and it kind of runs less because of that. So the next setting I'm gonna have you guys go through. I'm gonna have you go back to gaming. game mode and turn game mode off. What game mode does, it's gonna optimize your computer for you and optimize your games kind of for you, how they think your PC can run the game. So if you load up a game and everything's on like a high setting, the PC's already putting your games into these optimizations. Kind of like similar to a NVIDIA optimization where they kind of just like the drivers for the game or whatever, they kind of just mess up all your settings and you have to reset them. Um, I also think that could be one of the reasons Halo's settings reset because of the NVIDIA and because of this right here. So I would definitely turn off Xbox game mode right here for the PC. So so that'll be it for your settings in computer. Um, Now we're gonna open up Steam. We're gonna go to View. So you're gonna open up your Steam, guys. Right? You're gonna go to View in the top left corner. You're gonna go to Big Picture mode from View. Big Picture mode. It's gonna open up. Should look something similar to this. You're gonna go down to the Steam menu in the bottom left corner. Click on that. Settings, controller, and you're gonna want to turn all of this stuff off, guys. Your settings should look exactly how mine do right here, right? So with Steam, so with doing this, you're basically turning off an overlay. Pretty much is how I like to think of it. So you have your game settings, right? Then you're gonna have this Steam overlay setting on top of that. So you're gonna have two different settings in two different applications that's messing with your controller, right? I turn all of this off. I've tested it a bunch with Halo, other games as well. My controller works so much more better and consistent with all of this off, and yeah, I would definitely turn this off. So before we exit Steam completely, you're gonna exit Big Picture mode. So you're just gonna back out, power, exit Big Picture mode, open up back your Steam. Then you're gonna go to your library. Now you can do this with any game, but for the sake of the video, we're gonna go to Halo Infinite. You're gonna right click Halo Infinite, properties, controller, disable Steam input. So we know for sure that our Steam input isn't gonna be active while we're playing Halo Infinite, right? You can also do this for any other game, Apex, Destiny, any other game you want. You can run this. On Apex, I don't run this setting because I have I guess you can call it a script or something, but it's just a layout so I can tap strafe on controller. Uh, but besides that, I do it on every other game besides that one. Okay, so now we're gonna open up Halo Infinite. I'm gonna show you guys some controller settings and also some video settings that I run. And yeah, let's just hop right into it. So you're gonna go ahead and open up your Halo Infinite, and first thing you're gonna do, go to settings, obviously. Then we're gonna go scroll down. I'm gonna show you guys some of my settings that I play on, my dead zone, stuff like that, and some settings that I think you should keep on or off, depending on what the setting is. All right, so to start off, my sense, I play on a 2.56 sense. This is also Phase Frosty sense. He just won the back to back events. This is what I use. I love his sense. I feel like I've been using his sense since Halo 5, so I try and like mimic his settings as much as I can. I love this sense. It's not super fast, not super slow, just enough to where you can aim and also move around on the map. I highly recommend this sense if you're kind of like coming from other games and you're not really familiar with the Halo. This is a really good starting point to figure out what you kind of like, right? All right, so for my zoom sensitivities, I have a 1.4 times at 1.0. I have a 2.5 times at a 1.3. I have a 3.0x at a 1.4, 5 times 1.0, 6 times 1.0, 10 times 1.0. So with changing this setting for the BR, for example, which is a 2.5 cents zoom level, my bad. So I'm going to basically crank this setting up by zero point 0.3 from the default 1.0 because it's going to make your sense feel similar to when you're not scoped in, right? So think of it as like when you're walking around and you're moving and you're used to that sense. When you scope in and you have it at a 1.0, it's going to feel like slightly slower. So I would definitely try and crank this up maybe like zero point 0.3, zero point 0.4 around that area and kind of just mess with it, man. Like I said, you might not like my sense, and that's totally fine. It's personal preference. There's not a certain sense that I think everyone should be running because there's so many different people and play styles and personal preferences out there, but this is what I rock. This is a good starting point, I think, for everyone to that's getting either acclimated to Halo or want to get better or why they're struggling a little bit. This is definitely the way to go, man. So dead zones for my triggers, I just put all those to the left. So 055, 055. I don't really get like gun jams or anything anymore since they kind of fixed it in these past updates. All right, so move thumbstick dead zones. Mine are 1.5, 15, 1.5. Uh, the move dead zones I kind of change a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't really see there are a whole lot of like better dead zones for movement. I think you want it as low as possible. At least center dead zone and axial threshold you can just kind of mess with it. Whatever way you want. 15. I see some people play on like a 1 or a 0 or, but I would definitely try and keep the center dead zone, the axial dead zone, the lowest it can be because you want that responsiveness in it, right? This is gonna be your response, right? Now, if you have stick drift, I would definitely crank those two up, and yeah. Besides that, pretty self-explanatory. I don't really have anything else to add on that. But my look dead zones. Now, this is where it gets tricky, right, guys? Your look dead zones, your center dead zone should always be 0, right? I've experimented in the past and like played on like a 4 or like a 3 or like a 1.5. I feel it always should be 0 for the clean type of aim, right? It's going to feel the most responsiveness but without risking stick drift, right? So you're always going to want to keep the center one on 0 in my opinion. So whatever you do, keep center dead zone at 0 and then mess with your threshold and then your axial dead zone, right? That's the two you're in a change. So why I have the center dead zone at 0, you may ask, is because you're gonna get a little bit of stick drift, and what you want is the stick drift to be ever so slightly when you're aiming at someone, so you get the maximum amount of aim assist to work in your favor when you're in a gunfight. Your aim's gonna feel the stickiest when you have a little bit of the stick drift, right? So that's why I keep it on 0. So my threshold I keep at a 1, and then my dead zone I keep at a 3, right? 3 is low enough to where I have a responsive aimer, my aiming stick, but it's also I'm not also sacrificing a bunch of stick drift, right? And then input threshold. So what the input threshold is gonna vary in your acceleration curve, like the setting says right here. And you might ask what an acceleration curve is. If you guys have ever played like Call of Duty, they have different like curve settings, like dynamic, default, linear, stuff like that. I don't know like what setting like one is a linear or something. I don't know personally, but I like it at a lower setting. So anywhere from like a 5, I see people from play from 5 to like 1. I would say that's like a good sweet spot. If you're starting and you don't like my sense or my dead zone settings, I would definitely probably stay at like a 5 to like a 1 in that general area, right? All right, so that's gonna be it for the controller settings. Actually, we have one more setting that kind of persists the controller, which is FOV, right? So FOV, the higher the FOV, the smaller your reticle on screen is gonna be, but the bigger FOV you're gonna have, right? So I like to play on a 95. I feel like 95 is a good middle ground of being able to see in front of you, but also having a big reticle. I love a big reticle on my screen. I don't really like the small ones that much. For me personally, that's just how I like to play and everything. I feel like 95 is a good middle ground, and I feel like you shouldn't go below a 95. Uh, there might be some players that are like a below a 95 or like at a 95. I feel like if you go below, it's just not worth uh the FOV you're sacrificing, the your vision. I see a lot of people play at like 100, 105. I would probably, if you're a new player or like struggling with your aim, I would probably say like play on like a 105 to like a 95. That's a good starting point if you want. If you feel comfortable on a 120, play on 120. Everyone's personal preference is different, like I said, but I feel like a 95 to like 105, if you're trying to find that perfect middle ground, is definitely a good point. I usually swap from like a 95 to like a 97. Frosty plays on 95 and Formal plays on 97. Those are my two favorite players that I feel like I kind of like want to play like, so I mimic their settings. and add them into my own gameplay. So I play on like a 95, 97, depends on the day. I kind of switch them a little bit sometimes. But lately I've been rocking the 95. I've been messing with it. All right, so for controller setting, that's pretty much it. We're gonna go hop right into these video settings for you guys, and as you guys know, Halo Infinite isn't the stablest of games. But me personally, my personal experience, I haven't had barely any crashes probably ever since the game kind of came out. Um, I've had crashes, but not season 4. I don't think I've crashed one time, honestly. Within the within the past couple weeks since season 4 has been out, I don't think I've crashed one time, and that's great. Also, those settings I showed you earlier should make the game run better as well. Um, but yeah, so like my resolution scale starting off with the video settings. Most people are gonna play at like 100, so 100%. So that'll be a 1920 by 1080. Depends on what kind of monitor you play on. If you have like a 2140 times whatever kind of monitor, it'll be that. So like whatever. But I would definitely recommend turning this all the way down to 72%, the lowest it can go. If you can see the VRAM usage in the bottom right, that's kind of like how much RAM it's taken to run the game. You want this number as low as you can get it without sacrificing super like graphics and stuff like that. So I feel like this is a really good setting. I don't really notice anything with graphics or like the way things look or like my vision or anything in the game. It doesn't really affect any of that, honestly. It just kind of lowers the rendering sample for you. And I feel like the game runs so much better, so much smoother. Your aim's gonna be better. I've kind of played on 1920 1080 for a while, and I was kind of like struggling in the game sometimes, or like recently I kind of changed it to 1920 by 1080 to try it out, and then I didn't really like it. It could be head casing, but I was just like, I'm gonna just switch back to what I like, right? So for frame rates, I have a 240 hertz monitor, so I cap out at 240. I feel like if I'm above that, my game is like running just super aggressive for no reason. You're kind of just getting 300, 400 frames that I get on my computer that are just like pointless frames. You're just wasting more of your computer's power just doing that for worthless frames that you can't even see on your monitor anyways. If you have a higher than 240 hertz monitor, maybe crank it up. Whatever your monitor is, cap it at your monitor. Minimum frame rate, I'd keep this off. I see people turn it on like 120, so like half. But I don't really see a difference. I just keep it off, keep it simple. And then for VSync, turn that off and limit inactive frame rate. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't really affect your game at all. VSync is gonna, if you have VSync on, you're just doing yourself such a disservice because your controller delay is gonna be crazy when you have this setting on. So definitely turn that off, right? So for graphics, I have everything on low. So you can press low, right? But I'm gonna have you change like 2 or 3 settings on here that you probably didn't know you can turn off that make the game look better, run better, and it's gonna just help you in the long run graphic wise. So one of those settings is volumetric fog quality. You're gonna want to turn this shit off, right? Now when I say turn this off, guys. If you guys are playing campaign and stuff, this setting really doesn't matter. Guys, turn this off if you're playing multiplayer for sure. So basically what this does on some maps, especially like a recharge competitive map, if you guys are playing 4v4 multiplayer like I do, there's going to be a big like fog, kind of glassy, like foggy, thick fog though. It's like even on low setting, it looks real thick fog and you can't really like see that well, and it kind of just messes up everything in the game. Turn this off. It's going to be non-existent. You're going to see perfectly clear. And other maps, it probably is fogs on there as well. Dynamic wind, same thing as the other setting. Turn that off, right? It's going to give you the same benefits as the last setting. And then flock and quality, right? This is usually just for like birds and like critters, like big team battle, little guys on the map, and campaign. I turn it off. I don't think a lot of the 44 maps even have like little space gophers and stuff. So I just turn it off. I just just turn it off. And then async compute, turn that off as well. Ray trace off. And then all these sensory settings like blur, screen shake, exposure, full screen effects, turn all that off, guys. That's just gonna hinder your aiming and your view on your game, especially screen shake. Screen shake's literally just gonna shake your screen for no reason, and it's gonna feel like you're just like in an earthquake. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna be able to aim good or play good as well. If you guys like speed lines, I would say just run them if you like them. They don't really cause any difference. And then for the last setting, we have sharpen. And so what sharpen is going to do is going to make your image quality on the game look way better and more defined. I would definitely only run this sharpening setting if you guys are following me on the resolution scale setting. So if you guys are running a 72 resolution scale percentage, go down to sharpening, crank that bad boy up to 100, all right? That's going to give you the best image quality without sacrificing graphics and stuff like that. All right, so besides that, guys, I have one more thing to show you and like kind of tell you guys in terms of if you want to get your aim better, get your strafing better, get your movement better, things like that. And that what that thing is Academy. Academy is such a lifesaver, guys. It's gonna help you guys so much and dramatically. Now I know people are when they game, they're on very tight schedules to game, but I would definitely like take a day or like take a couple hours before you game or like an hour before you game, 30 minutes. Just hop in a training mode, pick a map. I like to go on live fire, and then just load in, shoot bots, get your strafes down, get your movement down. You'll also learn where people will be spawning in the game as well as you're playing. So definitely just hop in here maybe like an hour a day before you actually start playing like ranked or big team battle or whatever it is you like to play on Halo. So what I do before I even load in, let me turn my audio down a little loud. I load in, go to training options right here, second option. I like to load in with a battle rifle, and I also like to load in with a sniper. And then I also like to load in with a repulse. This is any equipment you want you can load in, and then I turn on infinite ammo. And then I just literally run around the map and just warm up my aim, warm up my gunny, my movement, your strafing, you know. And then just shoot bots for like an hour. Maybe turn on some music. You know, I like to turn on some music, vibe with my chat on Twitch chat, and then just vibe out, you know, shoot bots. It's gonna help you dramatically, guys. A lot of pros do this in a multitude of video games, from Valorant, CS to Halo to Call of Duty. Any bot kind of game they have, it's just gonna only help you guys. So just get in your zone, man. Get in the strafes, practice your aim, try your new settings out. Like I said, man, you guys might not even look at this game mode at all, but I play it pretty much every day. I wish I could get experience at how much I play. I just be farming in here, you know what I'm saying? Just hop on for an hour or two. Practice, man. Practice, make perfect. And then just hop on, that's it. Alright guys, so that'll be it for my settings video. I hope you guys enjoyed. This one's going to be a long upload. No gameplay today since the video is so in-depth and explaining a lot of things. I hope you guys get better at Halo and other FPS games as well with these settings. I hope I helped a couple people out if they didn't know why their game was running bad or this and that and the other. If I helped you guys, make sure you drop a comment. Let me know if you guys have any problems as well. I'm always glad to help you guys. And if you guys could also like, share, comment, sub to my YouTube, I would greatly appreciate it. We're grinding, man. I'm going to be releasing a lot more of this kind of content, like more in-depth kind of content to help you guys out. I feel like there's no one really doing that in the Halo community right now, so I'm gonna kind of step up to the plate and try it out. So a sub would greatly be appreciated. I stream almost every day on Twitch as well. You can catch me on there. Make sure you guys are following my Twitch. All my links will be in the description. And yeah, that'll be it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Peace.